Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Home Sense with Nell. So today I'm out in my backyard. I'm off work and it's early, so it's not quite hot yet. I have a plan to get a lot of things done today. Number one, I want to plant my seeds in the planter box that my husband and I built a couple of weeks ago. The seeds were actually a gift from my kids for Mother's Day, and I've never planted from seed before, so I'm really excited to see if this is going to work. I have beans, I have squash, I have a couple other things. Let me check my bag again, but I was really appreciative of that gift, so I really want to get those in the soil soon. It's not too late according to the package. I still have until September to get them in the ground. Another reason I'm really excited about doing this is because I'm participating in an awesome collab issued by 4 great YouTubers. They are Denise of This and That with Denise Jordan, Jessica of Measure and Mix, Lacey of Lacey's Space, and Chrissy of Hosted by Chrissy. These 4 awesome ladies have issued the Container Garden Challenge Summer 2019. That's right, it's called the Container Garden Challenge Summer 2019, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm going to leave links to each of these ladies' channels down in the description box, as well as a playlist when it becomes available. So my husband and I built this planter box a few weeks ago. I'm going to leave an iCard above with that video in case you're interested. It was super easy to build. I bought the plans from a person on Etsy, and he tells you step by step exactly everything you need to do to build the box. But before we get into it, I just want to tell you a little bit about my channel. Here on Home Sense with Nell, I talk about home decor, DIYs, product hauls, gardening, and basically everything related to making your home your sanctuary on a budget. If that's your thing, please subscribe. Now back to the building. So here we're mixing up 12 to 13 cubic feet of soil. We already had a little bit of leftover peat moss in the box, so I'm just breaking that up with my spade while my husband turns over the soil with the shovel. He was a great help in this project. So here I was trying to decide whether or not I needed to add a little bit more soil, but actually I think it's tall enough. This is what my planter box looked like before we added any seeds. And so these are the seeds that I got for Mother's Day from my kids. So excited to get them in the ground and see what's going to happen with them. This is a vegetable starter garden. I believe my kids got it at Lowe's. And it includes beans, squash, lettuce, cucumber, and they also got me corn seeds, which I didn't plant in this box because of lack of space, and another summer squash packet, which I also couldn't plant just because I didn't have enough space. So I decided to plant the beans lengthwise, and I'm just digging a trough for the beans to go into. And I was so surprised when I opened the packet to actually see beans. I don't know what I was expecting, but that just tickled me. I didn't think they were going to look like actual beans. So anyway, I planted them one by one. and lightly covered them with soil. Next, I decided to plant the lettuce seeds, and these were so tiny. I made about 4 rows crosswise in the garden bed. Now the package said that these should germinate in about 7 to 10 days. And because they're so small, I just decided to sprinkle them into the rows. Now these were some chalkboard garden stakes that I got for Christmas a couple years ago, also from the kids. The chalk has long disappeared, so I went ahead and used a whiteout marker to identify the different sections of the garden. Now, since I wanted to be sure and remember exactly what was in each section, I decided to use some leftover stones that I got from Dollar Tree just to mark off the different sections of the garden. And in the final, I'll say quadrant, I decided to plant the zucchini seeds, and they look a lot like pumpkin seeds. I planted about 4 or 5 of those. So here I'm watering everything lightly. I'm trying to be careful not to disturb the seeds. I don't want them to become disheveled, but I also don't want to drown them. So I'm just trying to give them a little bit of water. So this is how my garden planter bed looks on day 1. And guys, look at this. 2 weeks later, I actually have plants. I'm so excited. Look at these beans. It's just like a miracle to me that this is working. So I have a couple that are just barely breaking the surface of the soil, and I have a couple more that are about 2 inches tall, and a couple more that are about 1 inch tall. And I've been doing some research on beans, and I know that I will need to build a trellis for them to grow up. And I'm planning to build that this week and attach it or insert it inside the garden box. I'm going to use my leftover twine from my DIY rope challenge that I did a few weeks ago, and I'll leave an iCard about that one too. Now I did learn a lot. I learned that not all of your seeds will germinate. As you can see, only 1 row of my lettuce has sprouted so far. I'm not sure what happened with the second row. Maybe they got buried too deep, or maybe they got too much water. I'm not sure. But overall, I am very happy with this. And I've decided to have Herschel, my perfect little gnome, keep an eye on my garden when I'm not there. So guys, this is one of 2 container gardens that I have. I'm super proud of this one because, again, we built it and we started everything from seed. But I do have a second planter box that I purchased from Facebook Marketplace, and the plants in here have come from various places. This great little cherry tomato plant came from the flea market, as well as the mint that is right next to it. One of my kids decided to see if they could grow a green onion, so she took a green onion bottom. It was about 1 inch tall, stuck it in there, and believe it or not, it's growing another green onion shoot. She also took the bottom portion of a celery stalk, and we're trying to see if that's going to grow also. We have 2 different strawberry plants that we purchased at either Home Depot or Lowe's, I can't remember. And the Seascape strawberries have produced some fruit this year, but the other variety of strawberry hasn't produced anything yet, but I'm hopeful that it will before summer's out. And finally, we have this wonderful watermelon plant that my son helped me with because he loves the fruit. It's growing so vigorously that I think it's going to need a trellis, which I wasn't expecting. But this entire process has definitely been a learning experience, and my whole family's having a lot of fun with it. I'm so glad that I could share it with you guys here on YouTube. So again, thanks for visiting Home Sense with Nell. Please visit the creators links in my description box, and also please check out the playlist for this Container Garden Challenge Summer 2019.